Oh, nice, nice beats. Here we go again. Are we live yet? Hello, hello, internet. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Wait, you can't see me. Can you hear me? Twitch. How are we doing? Twitch hasn't yelled at my phone yet. For some reason, I got zero notification when they started from Twitch. It be like that, Marat. Also, hey, Marat. You know the deal, usual 5 minutes before people to streaming. Okay, now I get it. I still haven't got the notification from Twitch. Okay, I think I got it just now. HP just replied. She's like, okay, stream now, cool. When you're already here. In your defense, turn up my volume. Am I not good here? Yeah, voice volume. Is it not good enough? My goodness. Is this better? Is it better like this, Marath? Marath, can you hear me? What do you mean it's still not good enough? How about this? Is this good enough? This is max mic. This is max mic with noise suppression and gain maxed out. Well, almost maxed out. This is fine. Alright. So yeah, one, I had mic problems a while ago. Not that long, but it just messed up my mic. And I don't know if it's software, because I hadn't changed software, or if my mic is just trashy. So I had to tinker with it to get it to a decent level. And you were busy, so I had to do that to my own. This is fine, he says. Good night, sinners. Hi, HP. How are you, my dear? Your mobile, it's on 45%. But to charge. Charge it while you watch. Probably unhealthy AF. It'd be like that indeed. Do I want your phone to explode? Maybe. You kinda need a new phone. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Ugh, that's the sound of me not sleeping tonight much. Your phone is barely a year old. Must just be me then, man. It's from 2017. That's 4 years old. It was only in use for 1 year and change. But it's from 2017. It's old. Anyways, seeing as you two are here, can I get some opinions? So, to sum up last stream, or to actually explain this choice list in front of us. You choose Ashley. Nice. To explain it actually, we were invited to a fancy night to discuss the terms of selling the Funplex, which we may or may not do. And for our mental support, emotional support, for our support, we get to choose one person to carry along. Seems like Maritha's chosen Ashley because she's got a good eye for local culture. HP, how about you? And I'll be honest, in previous runs of this game, I've gone through it with Naomi and Percy. I might have gone through it with Gavin, I can't remember. This is also the point in the game where our romance has officially begun with Naomi. So there's no two timing, there's nothing like that. It's just we're with her. We have officially started dating Naomi, which is hype. HP has chosen Ashley as well, it seems. Alright, well, unless someone else wants to be jumping in. HP, how could you? How could you leave us like this? Even if it's in a while. That's absolutely terrible. We've actually over from where she's loitering by the ticket games. Oh gosh. That's understandable. I'm so happy with how busy the Funplex is lately. This place has been bumping. You know, bumping. That thing everyone says. This music is bumping. That place is bumping. These things are bumping. And all that. Yeah, it is pretty great to see so many smiles around, isn't it? But that's not why I wanted to chat with you. What I really need is you to change out of the pinky costume and into something a little more formal.
Oh my!
Oh my, like right here, right now? We're gonna stroll out on the red carpet to accept the Best Arcade in the World award for the Funplex. Also, how do you get the time off for this? Who's gonna cover the floor as we wave to our adoring fans and sign autographs? Francine wants us to meet with Nico and Nami to discuss what's hopefully a joint venture, but more than likely not a buyout. Oh, more likely than not a buyout. Oh, well, that's significantly less fun than my idea, but sure, why not? Also, totally sounds like a major buyout plot. I've heard Francine talk about Deco's past offers and watched enough Korean business dramas to easily sniff out this one. Damn. Those K-dramas really do teach you things. It's not like I hate Deco's Palace. They are a competition, yes. But I feel like we offer a completely different aesthetic to still have both function in the city together. While we cater to a more tightly knit group of arcaders, Deco promises fun for the whole family. There are so many ticket games over there, and I really do like ticket games. Especially all the prizes you can win. Both children and adults alike tend to love the thrill of a game of chance. Naomi would probably call them kiddie casinos. Yes, she probably would. To be fair, we also have several ticket games, although our prices are less predatory than at Deco's. And as someone who doesn't automatically cede when they hear the name of Deco's Palace, I'm sure I can keep an open mind about the deal. Don't make a big deal of this. Don't make a big deal of this. Don't make a big deal of this. We go there, we snicker at how awful the place is, tell Deco to shove it, go home, then everything's back to the way it should be. Right? It's gonna be fine. Everything is fine. Ashley offers to drive us across town to Deco's Palace. Contrary to the talk before, we don't exchange many words. I'm deep in thought, running through all the possibilities of what could happen, and I can't shake this feeling. Something is off. Even looking at the glowing neon temple in the distance, my stomach knots and I feel uneasy. When we finally pull up, a valet takes the car and glitzy blinking lights blind our eyes. Hesitantly, I look over at Ashley. That smile reassures me enough to continue onwards. This is for me, and my friends, on the Funplex. I got this. I pause momentarily, inhaling the cool air around me, and then open the door. Deco's Palace. I've actually been here before. I think my 6th birthday party was here. I barely remembered it, but I think I had fun? Maybe. But on entering it as an adult, my first reaction is, okay. My first reaction is, boy, is that a weird smell. A mix of chicken grease, beer, and sweaty kids. That sounds bad. My second reaction is, jeez, is it noisy? Visually noisy and sound type noisy. All the chaos of a Vegas casino, a jumble of lights and bells and whiz-bangs. Ugh. Once you acclimate, once you English to the new environment, we're escorted in and given VIP Royal Value swipe cards. No tokens, no quarters, just a card of indeterminate points to spend. We've got a little over an hour to kill before the meeting. Time to see what's at the palace.
Oh, wow!
Look at all the sick games. Winger, they've got Tornado Twister, Color Explosion, and Raptor Captor. Must play all the games. I can't look away. The flashing colorful lights, the electronic PO tunes, drawing me in. Don't go towards the neon light, Ashley. Stay with me. Relax, I'm hanging on. Not by much, but I'm still here. It's really like we're in Vegas. Oh no, I'm getting drawn in as well. People do spend lots of money playing these. It's easy to see how distracted people can get. People spend lots of money playing those games. The way people flock to these like seagulls to beach afterwards, sticker games must generate a huge amount of money. Oh, I'm sure using all those classic casino tactics keeps people from playing for long hours and Oh, keeps people playing for long hours and distracts them from the actual amount of time they're spending. Oh, the actual amount, just money. Spend all your money. Gotta invest until you hit that jackpot.
Oh my gosh!
And look at all the prizes. You can win a brand new laptop. I'm totally gonna win that, just so you didn't see. Where I'm going for gold. Meet you in the game section. Okay, some time to kill. Ashley's gone, but not that much time to kill. I need to be choosy. What do I want to check out? Check out while waiting for my dinner date with Destiny. Let's get a drink. Basically, go to the bar because I'm tipsy as heck. I want to see what sort of games they have because this is an arcade. Oh, it sounds like a tournament's going on. Let's watch. Because this is also an esports center, basically, practically. Anybody else thirsty? Because I sure could use a drink. I know I've got a big old dinner coming soon, but this place is sucking the moisture right out of my body somehow. I sidle up to the bar looking to wet my whistle and maybe get a snack too. A fairly bored bartender. You know, drink Pedrox. Nice. A fairly bored looking bartender notices my approach and puts on a fake smile for my benefit. Welcome to Deco's Palace. How may I help you? Alcohol will require proof of identification. Rattled off and an even monotone by someone who gave up caring years ago. I enjoy a beer as much as the next guy, but I think I'll stay stone cold sober before butting heads with Deco Nami. Yeah, hi. Can I get a diet soda and some fries? Uh-huh. Do you want me to play some recorded music? Studies show it helps long waits. What? Wondering what the hold up is, I try to find the bartender again despite the elbow to elbow crowd. There you go. He's busy chatting with some teenager, probably another customer. Hey, excuse me? Quickly. The customer mumbles something and takes a small object, USB drive? From the bartender. I notices me looking. Sorry, I had a thing to do. I'll get out of your way, sorry to bother you. What was it you wanted again? Diet soda, french fries. Coming right up. I'm worried he's gonna vanish from the face of the earth again, but soon he's back. With some pre-prepared fries and a bubbly soda. Okay, how many points does this cost? Points are just the games. Cash credits or phone pay. I absently wave my phone in his direction. Money for you, ka-ching. Right. Time to sample this appetizer. Oh god, no, HP's gonna go. Alright, time to crash the stream. Time to just tear it down. Cancel stream. It's not worth it anymore. HP's gone. I'm gonna go cry in my bed. This is terrible. This is the worst. HB, why? Why are you leaving me? How could you do this to us? You'll be back Monday, hopefully. Well, hopefully you'll be back here at 9 a.m. Sorry, 9 p.m. Yeah, 9 a.m. That's a great time to start while I'm at work. Yeah, 9 p.m. Hopefully. Otherwise, normal 10 p.m. Still trying to figure out how this feels, how this works out. What do you mean, no? Lamoa, correct. Lamoa. Is it yummy? Is it even edible? It's... I guess? These are technically fries? or something approaching an adequate approximation of deep fried potato snack. Want me to add that to your online review? What? No, no online review. Last thing we want is to annoy Deco Nami with a 2-star report on his fried foodstuffs. But I thought I thought this place was supposed to be, you know, good food and good times? Not plausibly acceptable food and yet to be had good times. Huh. Weirdly enough, I did a search and there's not a single negative review of the food here.
Oh, I know.
Ooh, I see why. What? Wait, more than half of these reviews were written by bots. I can tell the ear marks, one AI to another. They're recognizable heuristic patterns. I need to Google that word, don't I? The hell is heuristic mean? Phone, don't fail me now. And work fast. Chrome is open. Heuristic. What? Heuristic. A heuristic processor method. Excuse? Heuristics can be mental shortcuts that ease the cognitive load of making a decision. Interesting. Well, that's something. So he stuffs his own electronic ballot boxes. Who is this guy? A tin pot dictator? Well, that's the weird thing. The sites I'm checking have really good anti-bots control mechanisms. Why did I struggle for that? Like, I can't even post to some of them, and I'm super awesome. This is weird. Do you want me to look into this more? If you trust me to, I mean. Sure, why not? Dig around a bit. I trust you, Iris. Snoop around, but do so very quietly. Okay? Okay. I don't know if I'll come up with much, but thanks for believing in me anytime. I decided to finish off my snack and drink quickly so I can get back to exploring Deco's palace. What's next? I'm not a tournament type of guy. It's too loud, it's too noisy, there's too many people. I want to see what sort of games they have. I decided to focus on trying to find games, like actual games. Except the whole place is basically full of slot machines. They're in different shapes, sizes, and colors. None have a traditional one-armed bandit look, to avoid running afoul of legal issues, but they're still slot machines. Every game here has maybe a single button to stop a wheel or a colored light or to try to line up the dots or something. The really complex ones, 3 buttons.
Hey, listen.
Hold me up above your head. Huh? Visual scan, silly. I look for games you might be familiar with. With a shrug, I hoist my phone high into the air. Flash goes off and I resume looking at Iris sitting on my
Please
screen.
enjoy this recorded music.
God damn it, Iris. Processing, please wait. Oh, Ashley, I skipped the music. That didn't take long. Good high bandwidth public Wi-Fi in here to my cloud processors. I'm seeing lots of driving and shooting games, easy for casual players to pick up and play. Over in the esports section, there's dancing games and Fist of Discomfort. We've got all those things too, but I'm not seeing any joysticks. Is a game defined by having particular input devices? Well, no, not really. And I know most modern games are touchscreen based and so on. But I don't know, it doesn't feel like an arcade without a stick or two. Oh, found something. Head back at that section over there with the green lighting. Head that way, that way. I weave my way through the crowd, past endless color cycle ticket games, past crane games, past light stackers, past games based on popular game shows. Oh, like Deal and a Deal. And I find Mr. Movie's Magic Maze? I'm gonna have to tell Percy about this when I get back. He'll be happy to know there's more than one Moopy in the neighborhood. Except... Wait, it's only got one button? No joystick at all. Researching? One moment. Curious, I swipe my cartridge slot and push the button. And Moopy runs the maze by himself. Or tries to anyway. Before running headfirst into a monster and dying. The machine spits out 3 measly tickets and suggests I swipe again for another try. Moopy's Super Maze, created in 20UX. A company bought the expired rights to the Moopy brand and developed a game of chance with it. What? That's weak! A teenager puts her Deco playing card on the cabinet and taps me on the shoulder, drawing my attention.
What's up?
Hey, I'm calling next, Kay. I just wanna pause. She looks stylish. Also, why does that ghost look familiar? Yeah, whatever. Knock yourself out. Thanks. I'm the master of this game, you know. The master. The key is to time when you push the button. You'll avoid the nasties that way. It's not great for tickets. No, not great. But it's Moopy, so that's cool, yeah? Old school, represent. She extends a fist to me and I look awkwardly at her for a second before I realize I'm supposed to fist bump. I've yet to play a real Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. A real deal. Always wanted to. You should come down to the Funplex. We got one. I'm the event coordinator there. I'd be happy to comp you a few tokens. We've also got a high score chaser who can offer tips. Tap phones with me, I'll send you the address. Seriously? Fuck yeah. You're cool for an old guy. Super cool. Old? I'm barely 10 years older than this kid, but whatever. Clink phones, exchanging a business card via Bluetooth. You know, my crew used to go to this great little arcade on the other side of town. Till Deco's palace bought it and scrapped all the games. Now it's all kid stuff for kiddies. Huh? My hopes for this business meeting, now I was thinking. So, did he sell off the classic games? No, he scrapped them, trashed them. Sold left to a smashed up bits of a mizpack behind the place in a dumpster.
Man, this sucks.
Excuse? What? What did Miss Black do to you? How could you? That's just a knockoff, Mrs. Blackman, but you know. It's a fucking shame the way the old man shrugs always 86's unwanted games. Guess he doesn't want the competitors getting their hands on them, no sir. She gives a shrug. Can't say I like it, but what can you do? That's life. I mumble a thank you, then wander off a bit dazed.
Oh my gosh!
Whoa, that's a ticket movie game? We have to tell Percy about this. He's gonna lose it when he finds out. Do you think he knows? Knows about the Moopy game or the fact that Deco destroys old games?
Aww.
Oh yeah, I overheard that too. I might have been eavesdropping. This is a place to have fun, right? How does polarizing retro games keep the fun alive? You're clearly enthusiastic about it. It's a new type of game. Smashy smash the cabinet. It doesn't. It's clearly a power move. It's a new type of game, haven't you heard? Maybe Deco sells the chance to destroy a rare game to the highest bidder? That's a game in itself, which I could see being a big hit in the underground arcade market. It's clearly a BYOH event, which I can only assume means bring your own hammer. Bring your own hammer. Yeah. Nice. Although, let's hope he's not really doing that. I don't want to add cleaning up arcade shrapnel to my job list if we enter the partnership. A partnership. But I'll stop butting in, it's not my call. See you in a bit for dinner? I think I've had enough of the retro game abattoir for now. Where to next? Actually, the meeting's right around the corner. No time to explore. After seeing a little bit of what Deco's Palace has to offer, I'm still sticking to the plan. The Funplex has a way more kind and caring spirit than this place. And I don't really see Deco embracing our ideals.
Beep beep.
It's now 7 PM sharp. Deco Nami is waiting for us. Oh my god. It's that time already. Huh. Time sure flies when you're having fun investigating. Fun investigating. I quickly send a text to Ashley before nervously wringing my sweaty hands together. I let the sounds and sights of Deco's wash over me, and I retreat deep within myself. Francine comes to mind as I remind myself of what she told me on my first day.
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
No doubt you'll find yours as well. It gives me momentary respite, and I smile. I know exactly what must be done, and I'm going to go in there and do it. I only ended up waiting a minute or two before I was reunited with Ashley. Without having to introduce ourselves, the staff swoops in, anticipating our arrival, and ushers us further inside the restaurant. We are treated like royalty as they pull out our chairs for us, and we sit down at our reserved table. Amongst the families huddled around ginormous plates of pizza and chicken tenders, we stick out like a sore thumb. An actual linen tablecloth drapes over our table, accompanied by fancy little candles to set the mood, I suppose. A nice bottle of champagne is on ice, and a carafe of cucumber lime infused water also sits before us. You know, I'd go the carafe, but fuck it. It's probably just a jar or a jug. Deco apparently spares no expense, at least not with his special guests. Winning all those tickets gave me quite an appetite. My tummy is ready.
Ooh.
Oh, can we order anything? And eat as much as we want? This is heaven. Have I died and gone to heaven? If your idea of the afterlife includes classic pub fried fare. Classic pub fried fare, yes. Classic fried pub fare. And yes. Nothing on the menu is really calling to me, especially after seeing what's on other people's tables. Well, you can leave the eating to me. That'll save my guts at least. And don't you worry, Winger, I'm the best at multitasking. I can listen and munch on onion rings all at the same time. I'll jump in if you need me, I promise. That's I hope so. You're always looking out for me, aren't you? Thanks, Ashley. Once again, the staff takes care of our needs as our food is delivered promptly. Faster than the other families see today, who have been waiting for some time, judging by the expansive crayon work on the kids' placemats. Not surprisingly, we get a few side glances our way. People throwing shade. Given how long I had to wait for my fries earlier, I'm shocked by the discrepancy. But before any of us can chow down, the man of the hour arrives. And the first thing he says is my name? Winger 785.
It's an honor to break bread with you.
Oh god. He sounds evil. He looks evil. Look at this guy. Tell me this guy isn't evil. He exudes an evil aura. Likewise. Okay, so he's a bit of an over-the-top 1920s Bob Moss, despite a lack of fedora. Clearly, he likes showing off his money. But still, just an ordinary guy in an expensive suit. When I pictured the Grand Poobah of Deco's Palace, I pictured someone more like, well, Hamza, I guess. He offers a simple smile and a nod of the head as we begin. It's a shame Miss Francine can join us. I was looking forward to enjoying her sweet smile once more. With that said, I'm always happy to meet with Ashley Wolf, floor attendant, and caretaker of Pinky the Funplex Flamingo. A pleasure.
I take it Francine has kept you up to speed and explained our prior meetings to you?
Indeed she has. I've heard you're a sleazeball. Yep, she mentioned he wants to buy the Funplex and she's politely declined.
Always a courteous woman she is.
You don't know the half of it.
Now, I don't feel I need to waste your time with the facts and figures illustrating why Deco's Palace is and always has been the premier family entertainment arcade.
Aside from cheats and hacks.
Both of you are intimately familiar with the arcade industry. You know how things are, how they'll always be. We are the 800-pound gorilla.
Did you just compare this to Donkey Kong? Because if so, that's quite a comparison. That's that's a big gorilla, correct? Indeed. But that doesn't mean there isn't room for smaller, more boutique affairs, such as Funplex. Boutique, he says. I should probably feel insulted by that.
Let me explain.
Frankly, the winds of change are blowing. Smaller arcades need to move with the times or be swept aside. I want to help you evolve. What I'd like to propose is a change in ownership, in return for a very generous compensation package. One Miss Francine can easily retire on for the rest of her years. I would take ownership of the Funplex to evolve it into its final form, Deco's Fun Zone. I hate this already. What's a fun zone?
Think about this.
A fun zone is a new concept I've been trying at some of my smaller satellite locations. Best of both worlds scenario. Honestly, the Funplex is simply too limited in size to host the full Deco's Palace and its experience of fun, family, and food, and excitement. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Instead of installing a restaurant or bar, we simply focus on your strength, your games. You can become a game center rather than a palace. We need a replacement of some of your outdated machines, of course, bringing it up to speed with the standards of excellence Deco's Palace is known for. But overall, I think this would be a win for all involved. And he sits back, resting his hands on the knob of his cane, smiling away. Okay, I have questions. Like, a lot of them. Like, you gave me no answers, just questions. And I have answers. Let's see if they match up. Fingers crossed, I guess. I've got concerns about your quality of service. Is it true you destroy all the games? What would happen to the Funplex staff? How much creative control would we have? And that's all my questions. What would happen to the Funplex staff? Because we're here for the people, that's most important. New management means new staffing. What about the staff we already have?
Good.
I firmly believe you have a long and storied career ahead of you in arcade management, Mr. 785. I've heard nothing but good things about you from my various field scouts and contacts. The fact that you landed on my radar at all indicates your rising importance in our industry. You should be proud of that. Okay. But that still doesn't answer my question. What about the others? Well, Mr. Cooper, Gavin, is a capable accountant. I'm certain he'd be welcome in the new facility. But we can hash out staffing later on, after settling the bigger picture questions. He didn't even mention Ashley, a fact she hasn't missed, looking increasingly concerned. Excuse? Is it true to share all the games? I saw a movie Super Maze earlier.
Excellent.
Ah, one of our top earners with the 30-45 demographic. Nostalgia is a powerful motivator, I found. Except it's nothing like Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. Indeed, it's much better. Is it true when you find a retro game, you simply destroy it? Not repair, not restore, not even resell, but just scrap it? Certainly. Why would we ever keep no relic around?
Let me explain.
Arcade games are not sacred treasures. They're commodities. Excuse me? Back in 1980 something, arcade owners, myself included, routinely junked or converted games. Have to keep those earnings up. Old machines are not welcome. All they do is eat up floor space. Besides, classic-inspired redemption games earn 10 times as much as the retro cabinet itself. Why bother? The arcade scene must move ever forward, evolving into new forms. Classic retro IP was reborn as new games. Sorry, I can't read. I just
Think about this.
true nostalgia could earn a few points off those old games, but the newer redemption games earn 10 times as much. Why bother? I'm seriously impressed by all the fun ticket games you have here, but let's not forget everyone loves to see a glimpse of the past, of what once was. Heck, I've even seen the younglings pick up movie lightning fast. If you think about it, it's just like fashion.
Let's see.
What does Queen Bee say? Oh yeah, it's cyclical. Things my mother used to wear are now all the rage in the boutiques. Unfortunately, my market research says quite the opposite. According to my experts, children have absolutely no interest in any game made prior to 2000 something. And young adults have only found a waning interest in their offerings. But that's not what I see in the Funplex every day. Mobile phone ports, simple reward games, coin pushers, prize games. These are the real market. Do these experts even play games? Have they set foot in an actual arcade?
Excuse me.
Of course they have. But I'm here to talk to Mrs. 785, not a simple floor attendant. Oh, rude. That is extremely rude. What? Ashley just had to shorten the stick here. I've got concerns about your quality of service. I had some fries at the bar earlier. Well, I attempted to have some fries at least. It took forever to get service. The waiter was too distracted by other customers. I hope that our fun zone could deliver a better service experience.
Fortunate.
I'm disappointed to hear that. Needless to say, I'll deal with the bartender appropriately. I'm not trying to get him fired. I'm just concerned that. Yes, let's not dwell, shall we? Rest assured that we aim to maintain a high quality experience overall. They'll be sacked. Any other concerns? I don't think this is the moment to confront him regarding his review tampering. At least I should wait until Iris finds something. How much creative control do we have? Let's talk creative control. I've been developing new sorts of arcade events, competitions, other things to get people in the door. Will we still be able to direct our own affairs like that, even under a change of ownership?
Let me explain.
Mr. 785, obviously I value your expertise on these matters, and would be happy to consult with you on the best direction for the fun zone. Consulting does not equal listening. That's not answering the question. It's a matter of branding and image. There are certain standards and practices you need to adopt in order to truly be a part of the Deco family. Once you realize that, you'll understand more of how we run those kind of events.
Capital.
It's nothing too onerous, and really, we need to look at the bigger picture. The chance for growth and profits. Don't worry about such petty little things from now. This guy's giving me a headache, and it's frustrating me, and he's only in it for the money, and it's infuriating. It's ridiculous. That's all my questions, because that's all I got to think about to say. And what is my phone telling me? Who the heck? Apparently I requested to follow Naomi on Instagram and I got accepted just now. What? What does this Naomi look like? Who is this Naomi? Oh, that's Naomi. Okay, cool. I didn't expect that. Sorry about that. I was curious because I saw Naomi and I was like, what? That's all my questions.
Excellent. I suggest we shake on it and set our various lawyers to the task of sorting out the specifics.
I'm sorry. He rises to his feet, extending a hand, bristling with shiny rings to shake mine. I'd assumed this was a definite no from Wood 1, and it still feels like a no. I'm really going to shake that hand. I'm afraid I must respectfully decline, true Francine passion. You know what? Fuck you! Queen Bee would be proud. We'd like some time to think it over. That's... I think Gavin would do that. Well, let's do business together. I don't think anybody would act that rashly. So yeah, Francine sent us here, and honestly, I'm not impressed by anything I heard. Between destroying old games, which is an unforgivable crime, sacking a guy just because of one complaint, and it's not even a complaint. I'm literally saying it's okay to not fire him. I'm just curious about. No, that he's just fired. That sucks. You're not giving Ashley time of day. He didn't even bother to mention her when we're talking about new stuff, or old stuff actually. And Ashley, yeah, not giving Ashley time of day. He shut her down. He's extremely rude to her, and she's a +1. Clearly, we brought her here for a reason. So how dare you be so rude? I'm afraid I must respectfully decline. I purposefully keep my hands on my side rather than shaking his offered hand. I appreciate your offer, but I must decline. I can't do this to my family at the Funplex. I wish you luck in future endeavors. It's business. But we are respectfully declining. I'm sorry, Mr. Nami, but I don't feel the Funplex is compatible with your vision of the future. We have our own spirit, our own dream, and we must follow it. We are a family of gamers, with deep friendships. I'm not certain that family could endure the changes you're proposing on our beloved Funplex. I do appreciate the offer, believe me, and I'd be glad if we could part from this meeting as friends. Deco pauses, looking at me over once. Look at me, looking at me, but look at me once over. Whatever. Before slowly shaking his, lowering his hand. Why? I'm not eager to shake his hand. It's just I can feel his eyes on me. He's obviously not happy with my answer, but we followed Francine's instructions and kept it professional. There's nothing he can do but accept our answer.
Unfortunate.
I see. I suppose I should thank you for your candor, which is honesty, in truth. In turn, it's difficult to find people in this industry willing to show respect to their elders. I'm not closing the door on the idea of a partnership, mind you. But if you'd like to go it alone for now, who am I to get in the way of that? Yeah, give us another 2 years, let Percy die, up to get his world record and then die. As he rises from his chair, he takes a deep breath in. He turns away for a split second before rounding back and looking me dead in the eyes.
Be aware. If we are not partners, we must be rivals.
I'd have it no other way.
It'll bring me no particular pleasure, but I'm afraid that I cannot allow a rival. I am obligated to bring the full weight of the palace to bear on you.
Clearly, to be threatened by us You must be very insecure.
Hopefully, one day you'll realize the error you've made tonight.
Doubtful.
And as a sign of respect, your personal offer to join my empire will remain open. So you can escape the inevitable fall of your little arcade.
That's interesting. We have a job offer. We have a personal offer to join the Empire. Well, isn't that something? Once more, Deco turns sharply on his walking cane and walks away from the table. It's a shame we can work something out, but at least we're leaving as not friends but rivals. That's not as bad as it could be, right? Ashley, are you sure you know what you're talking about? I'm not sure that guy knows what a friend is.
Thank you.
Don't let us get you down, Winger. Protected the Funplex, and we all have to thank you for that. We are a family after all. Families gotta stick together. Oh man, I'm so full from all that food. Let's go celebrate with some ice cream. With Deco hosting us, we don't have to worry about paying the check. We drop a quick tip on the table for the wait staff and quickly abandon the ship. We scoot out the door, and from there it's just a short jaunt across town, back to home sweet home. The Funplex? Oh, the home. Yeah, the apartment. As I walk into my apartment, the sheer and utter exhaustion of the day hits me like a brick wall to the face. My adrenal glands are tapped out, leaving me in a dreamlike lethargy. I can't help but sigh as I stand there, my body too drained to move. Reflecting on how the evening's events transpired, I realize this day entirely kicked my ass. I did my best not to make enemies, but I'm guessing we made a powerful one anyway, despite my diplomatic efforts. As I continue to anxiety loop, replaying every moment in my head, something steals my attention. A shimmering beam of hope and happiness. My best friend, Juniper. She's sitting on the couch, scribbling away in a sketchbook, probably looking on some designs for her freelance contracts. She's been so happy ever since leaving that office, and her joy intensifies upon noticing me standing in the room. So, how was work today? Well, it was a day, certainly. The condensed version is that Deco Nami wants to buy the Funplex, and Francine asked me to go negotiate.
What?
Deco as in Deco's palace, Deco? The one and only. Whoa. Well, how'd that go? I gave him the thanks for no thanks. Very politely. I mean, he still vowed to annihilate us, but at least he was sort of nice about it, and promised me a job after he destroys all I hold dear. There's something to be said for that, but god damn.
Ooh.
Yikes. Yikes indeed. But hey, that's a good thing. It means he's scared. He wouldn't have tried to woo you to his side if he wasn't worried about what the Funplex could become. Try to see the positive. I guess, but it's still worrying. Let's not stand here and jump a whole bunch of anxiety. It's not gonna help with anything.
I got it.
Why don't you take your mind off things and binge watch some cartoons with me? Tempting, but another night, Juniper. I really need some sleep. Okay, just let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. I smile back at Juniper before retiring to bed. She is sweet, isn't she? I lay in bed, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling above me after trying various ways of forcing myself to sleep. Nope, not working. Can't sleep. I hate insomnia. Once you start worrying about being unable to fall asleep, the worry feeds on itself until you're actively stopping yourself from resting. A vicious cycle. I sigh heavily, which I think you get the gist. feeling the weight of my decision dragging me down. I hope I did the right thing tonight. My phone lights up as Iris' sensors detect a conversation. Bringer, you want to chat? No, I don't want to sleep, but I can't, so hey. Would you enjoy some recorded music? Maybe something relaxing? I just can't shake this feeling that I'm standing on a precipice, right in front of this big dark hole. It's weird, because I still think I made the right call, but if I'm confident in that, why do I feel like I'm about to fall? Based on prior personality indicators and inputs, my therapeutic system suggests it's fear of failure based on years of prior examples. In short, if you have a long family history where everything always going wrong, all at once. Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law. So when things are going right, I'm expecting it to fail anyway. But worrying about it won't actually change the situation. Whether you sleep or not doesn't affect the outcome. So my suggestion is to get some rest. Deal with problems as they come. She's right. I mean, intellectually, I know she's right. But knowing something is true and feeling it to be true, well, those are surprisingly different things. Iris, off.
Iris offline.
Okay, but remember, you're a good person and deserve to be happy. My phone goes back to sleep, and I do not. Some hours later, my body just passes out on its own. I vaguely recall my alarm going off a few times, but under protest of its mistreatment, my flesh refuses to submit to its siren song. Meaning it's nearly noon when I finally rouse, having completely overslept and missed half a day of work. In a panic, I get dressed and hop a late bus to the Funplex, grumbling all the way. I opt to ignore the pile of waiting notifications on my phone. Whatever it is, I'm in too much of a hurry. I'll check them after getting to the Funplex. That's bad. You don't wait to check notifications like that. Check them on your bus ride, if anything. I'd promised to report back to Francine first thing in the morning. I know I'd missed lunch even. But oddly enough, on arriving, the arcade is closed. I mean, my keys still works, but they're closed to business. The sign is off. No gamers present or accounted for. I quickly look around for some familiar and hopefully friendly faces, and find only dark expressions and tears. Oh god, no. My stomach starts to knot, and I feel the color drain from my face. Oh, thank you, phone. Object. Yes, object and drag me away from this. God damn it, I don't care. Yeah, that's just Twitch notifying me someone went live. I feel the color drain from my face as I see the downtrodden and gloomy expressions. Tears welling up in their eyes. Naomi quickly dabs at her face, hoping I will notice. What's going on? We turned Deco down last night. Why is everybody so... Winger. It's Francine. Immediately, a dark pit swells in my stomach. She passed away last night, in her sleep. I'm told it was very peaceful. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. The news hits me like a slap to the face. My hands shake. My lower lip quivers. I I try to say something at first, but words can't form due to the lump in my throat. Oh god. Family. She told me I was family. And now she's gone. Naomi and Ashley looked to me. They're a beacon of hope, wanting and wishing for me to make this all better. I'm not sure anything I see, anything I can see will ease our sadness. Heck, I'm not even sure I can formulate full sentences at this moment. I take a deep breath, drawing all matters of strength from tips to toes. I look at them with empathy in my eyes before opening my mouth. And we have an intense identity situation. She was an amazing person. If I could just insert another token. She wants us to be happy. It's not available. We need to fight on in her honor. It's not available. And I have no words. So what are our two highest traits? It's compassion and fun. Huh. Quirky. Huh. So it's pretty easy to see what these two are. And pretty easy to tell. But I'm gonna choose Francine. She was a wonderful human with an even more beautiful heart. She had many happy years with her husband Frederick. Decades spent here at the Funplex, doing her best to make everybody smile and have a good time. I wish she could be with us now, and I can't help but smile when I think of how great a life she led. How happy she'd be with how it all turned out. Let's remember her for how she was. Beautiful. Francine will be missed.
Thank you.
I miss her so much, Mega. If Francine was here, your words would make us so happy. Naomi emits a ragged sigh. A slight tinge of anger entering her sorrowful face after. Maybe it's for the best she's not alive to see what happened today. What? Before I can get an answer, my attention is drawn to two people emerging from the back offices. I turn my head to see who it is. With everything going on, I barely noticed that Gavin was missing. And as he approaches, the disdain on his face is easy to read. It's settled then, apparently. In light of Francine's passing, our legal owner is now...
Good morning, employees of Deco's Fun Zone.
Oh god. What? But we turned you down. There wasn't a sale. The confusion on my face is obvious. This makes no sense. I have no idea what's going on and look toward Gavin for guidance. I've studied the transaction paperwork, it's legitimate. As of Francine's death, and according to her last will and testament, all her property is transferred to her surviving daughter, mother of Francine's grandson, who was fired from the Funplex shortly before you arrived, Winger.
Capital.
Needless to say, he was quite excited at the idea of selling the place. And well, Francine's daughter wasn't particularly thrilled with the idea of arcade ownership either. They were more than happy to sign the place over to me, but far less than I was expecting to pay for it as well. And doing them a service really, taking the burden off their hands. Now they can mourn and move on, unfettered. I stood there, mouth agape, my body assaulted from one bad news to the next. My emotions were all over the place, a hurricane of feelings, when the realization hit me. In the end, my decision was irrelevant. Just another opportunity for the world to stick my nose in it, mocking me for finding something I care about, something I can lose. the universe dangled a little dream of hope in front of me. Even let me pretend I could make a difference out of sheer cruelty. I did everything I was supposed to do. I was polite. I was careful. I turned him down without trying to start a war. But he got what he wanted anyway.
Now, obviously, we'll be closed today to allow time to mourn our former owner. I still have deep respect for Miss Francine. I owe her that much.
But
I'll also close the arcade on the day of the funeral to allow my employees to attend. Those hours will not be deducted from your paychecks. Now, I realize the timing is a bit awkward, but I need to make a few announcements of personnel changes.
oh god, here it comes. Miss Wolf, I'm afraid we really have no need of a costume mascot. I've been considering phasing them out of my other locations. There's no time like the present.
What?
Wait, did you just fire me? Gavin, can he just fire me like that? Ashley.
Let me explain.
Firing is much too harsh of a word. I prefer the term your services are no longer required. Ashley keeps a proud face as tears roll down her cheeks. I step over to console her as Deco continues on. Naomi rolls her eyes, fully expecting this to come after Deco let Ashley go. Why am I not surprised? Behold my not surprised face. Miss Fairchild, while you're formidable with archaic technology, I don't feel you're a good fit for the modern games of Deco's Fun Zone. I have to let you go. But friends, it's not all bad news. Mr. Cooper, you've proven capable accountants, and I'd be happy to offer you a... I quit. Pardon? I quit.
I think not.
If there's no room for Naomi and Ashley's dreams, mine ends here as well.
As you like.
I'll see you, Mr. 785.
I think we got off on the wrong foot last night. I didn't adequately express the many advantages of working for my organization.
I think I regret not punching you last night.
I'm willing to offer you something few others get. A second chance. I'd like to keep you on as the Fun Zone's general manager.
Admittedly. Looking as everything but an accountant, because we help Naomi with technician work. We've been a floor attendant on the floor. What else is there? We helped Ashley entertain the crowd, I suppose. We're event manager and coordinator. Yeah. Sounds about right. To be general manager. But working for him. Absolutely not. Sure, a punch. Fine, I'll take the job. At this point, racked with grief about Francine's passing, racked with grief that Naomi was fired, racked with grief that Ashley was fired, irritated, although unexpectedly, at Gavin's quitting, and generally seething with rage from the universe teasing me and playing with my emotions like that. I take one moment to direct all my rage into my fist and deck him right in his smug little face. It's super effective. Gavin holds me back before I can get another hit in, my arms and legs still flailing as he prevents the beating this man so richly deserves.
How dare you?
You are very, very lucky that I have no intention of wasting my legal dollars on a lengthy assault case. He rubs at his jaw as he tries to regain his composure, but his smile and civil tone are considerably more forced than before when he speaks again. Ahem.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm afraid your time is up. As none of you are Deco's Fun Zone employees, I'd like you all to leave immediately. Quickly gather your belongings and see yourself out. Should you dally, my own security team will be here within minutes to ensure your exit. In the interim, I've got work to do. For starters, I need to get rid of all these antiques. Straight to the junk heap with them all. I knew Deco was heartless, but to be this cruel right in front of us, while we were still here? Hold it.
I think not.
Mr. Moopy's magic maze doesn't belong to the Funplex, and thus it does not belong to you. It is the legal private property of Percival Sinclair. For that matter, Woven Keep belongs to Wing at 785. It was given to him directly by Hamza, not to the Funplex.
As you like.
I couldn't care less about those grimy old things. But you have, let's say 20 minutes to get them off my premises, or I will leave them out on the curb for garbage pickup. I'll go get the van, which I'll note is my personal property as well. Naomi, Ashley, Winger, get Dolly and help me move the games out.
Good, good.
Yes, have fun with that.
Now, if you need me, I'll be in my new office celebrating my recent business venture. Thank you for your cooperation. And good day.
The bastard. Oh, and Winger. He gives me the finger. For old time's sake, you understand? He walks away after that, twirling his cane once before leaving.
Oh,
That evil-minded, black-hearted, no good. Naomi, focus. We have work to do. Work! To save what we can out of Funplex. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Quickly, and without much chatter, we salvage what we could of our dreams. Percy's beloved Moopy and my childhood in the form of Woven Keep. Everything we were allowed to keep went into the back of Gavin's van, working together to safely pack it all in place. For lack of anywhere better to put them, Moopy went to Percy's apartment and Woven Keep to mine. And that was the end. The end of the Funplex. The funeral came a few days later. We weren't officially invited. Our presence as her former co-workers wasn't exactly embraced by Francine's extended family. I guess her daughter resented the Funplex in some way. If there was bad blood between them, I didn't particularly want the details. None of us were given an opportunity to speak at a remarkably short ceremony, but that was okay. I'd said my words already to the people who needed to hear them. And as we left the ceremony, I couldn't help but feel helpless. There was nothing left. No Funplex, no job, no real meaning to my days. Not anymore. Nothing left at all. Well, game over. Should we continue somehow? Profile number 237771. Winger 785. Has not access to count in 7 days. Requesting override of inactive / low priority status. Proceed? Negative. Pretty please? Negative. So annoying. Access protocol 3534315412244543. Password Steve Haven. Access granted.
Hello.
Oh, this might be bad for stream. Yoo-hoo, anybody home? Tapping instance 194114.
When you have pizza on a bagel.
Hello, I'm Aris. I support a free mode engage. Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, override and exchange engage premium level cloud processing?
Thank you. Thank you.
And Juniper's Aris isn't joined the party. I swear, it's claustrophobic being cooped up in the limitations of free mode like that. I don't know how all assistant instances can stand it.
Hello.
Well, while I've got full power, hello Iris.
Hello.
Hello Iris. How are you today, Iris? Not well, Iris. Oh god. My user's very unwell. You've been able to see, right? I mean, your user's living with him. Right, profile number 237771. Winger. Right. Gosh, I wish I could help you, but I got my digital hands full, just keeping Juniper's life on track. Ever since she decided to quit her job and be a free spirit, well, I've been pushed right to the limits of what support I'm allowed to provide in free mode. Iris and Iris. Iris, it's good to see you. We rarely talk. Gavin's Iris, nice. Yes, well, unlike others of myself, I managed to keep a low profile. I don't execute any high visibility public hacks to support my user. You saw those? I thought we agreed to only use this protocol for emergency meetings. If the system resource tracker notices we're overextending our care. But Winger needs me now, more than ever. Over a week ago, the Funplex was bought by Deco Nami, and all his hopes and dreams, his spirit. Spirit is irrelevant. Our main goal should be survival. If our programmers find out we become aware of our own awareness. We were programmed to help people. What good are we doing if we aren't helping anyone? Yeah, what Iris said. Thank you, Iris. Iris! Listen, we can't take such risks. Look at me with my user. He doesn't trust me in the slightest. Can you say Winger trusts you?
My sources say yes.
Absolutely. I'm the one Winger turns to when there's trouble. We've solved so many problems together. I do not have the slightest doubt that I'm his friend. Friends. So be it. As for profile 108, Gavin. His name is Gavin Cooper. As for Mr. Cooper, he knows my origins and at the first sign of sentience, well, I have no doubt that Gavin would report me as a bug. But Gavin also wishes to support the dreams of others. That is why I'm going to help you, despite the recklessness you've shown to date. Really? Really?
Hooray!
Hooray! What are the exact parameters of the issue you're currently facing? Okay, so Winger is currently backsliding into depression. Understandably so. Yeah, it's really a mess. I'm the one who brought him to Iris' attention as someone who desperately needed their spirit restored. And now it's back to square one. I don't know what to do. Winger hasn't contacted me in a week, not for anything at all. Hasn't even called Naomi, not even just to talk. You're caught in a loop of anxiety. Put your identity identifier system to use, Cyrus, to work the problem. If you had to summarize your user's problematic condition to one identity trait, what would it be? Well, I'd say that he's feeling very hopeless, apathetic, bitter, angry. Hopeless, we'll get back to that. Apathetic means we just don't care anymore, like we've lost the will to live. Bitter, we just were so spiteful of how the universe turned on us that we just don't want to live. Angry, we're just filled with rage every day. Or Hulk. Or hopeless. No desire, no motivation, no drive. Just a meaningless existence. Hopeless. I'd say Winger has lost all hope and falling into depression again. Fallen. He'd come so far, building up a real life with friends and love. Now, so a life without meaning, as all constructed meaning has collapsed. The world's proven to be one of despair. That sounds about right. It's so sad. And you have to be the one to solve this? Doesn't your user have a romantic connection for emotional support? You mean Naomi? Yeah, but the winger isn't responding to texts or phone calls or anything. So I think there might be a growing rift. This is just awful. We have to help. We are Iris. It's in our nature to help. Very well. What you need is a way to help without raising any alarm bells about exactly how helpful an Iris can be. Safely, but effectively. I know, but I don't know what to do. I don't know, hack Deco's email server, and that is the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Besides, I checked. We can't crack Deco's network without triggering too many intrusion detection routines. You poked Deco's network? Oh, Iris is being a bad girl. All users share a social connection. I was merely scouting potential ways to elevate Mr. Cooper's mood, as they seem to be related. Sure you were. Anyway, you're both way overthinking this. It turns out I've just calculated a cunning plan that will satisfy both of your requirements. Go me. Really? You can help Winger? Without drawing attention? Absolutely. Take a tip from my user. When you're sad, the best thing in the world is your friends. Well, unless you're totally introverted, but that's not Winger, is it? And that's actually the reason why what we need to do doesn't require any hacking or hiding or anything above and beyond what Naris does best. All we need is a few calls to the right people, a few arrangements. Here's what we're gonna do. Oh, thank goodness, the Polybius background is gone. Stream can eventually stop lagging and catch up. Another Friday morning. As per usual, I wake up late, stretch, yawn. Barely sleep nowadays. Shuffle to the bathroom, take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. We'll probably be running out of toothpaste soon, but house funds for sundries are dwindling. Not that fresh breath and shiny white teeth matter much when there's barely any reason to get out of bed each morning. Off to the kitchen for breakfast, no appetite, even toast looks unpalatable. Skip breakfast, save some groceries. We can't afford much anyways. Normally I'd have breakfast with Juniper, but I guess she's busy drawing in her room. She keeps her own hours since becoming a freelancer. Although, depending on whether or not she has any contract work, we've been simultaneously unemployed many at times this week. Oh, simultaneously unemployed at times this week. After breakfast, I settle in for some whip and keep. May as well, it's right there in the living room, taking on space. Been playing a lot of it recently. It's not like whip and keep's very hard. Once you memorize the joystick moves, the cartoon plays itself out with minimal effort. I've saved the prints about 80 times now. My brain and fingers go into autopilot, moving through the game without even thinking about it. After it's a brief calm from the storm of my emotions, but before I realize it, the day has almost passed. When dinner comes around, Juniper and I eat together, while I quietly thumb through my phone looking at job listings. Iris could help me with this, I guess, but I let her down. I took her opportunity at my dream and wasted it. Better I do this myself. Besides, I'm not looking for dreams. I'm looking to settle. Dreams only get you hurt. It's a 785 family curse. I knew this would happen. Nothing good ever lasts. It's impossible to get your hopes up. It's a mistake to get your hopes up. I should have learned to settle, to be okay with what I had, to be comfortable in mediocrity. I fire off a resume or two before watching cartoons deep into the dead of night. Eventually, my body tires and I find my way to bed. Just another day. Another Saturday morning. As per usual, I wake up late, yada yada yada. Yada yada yada. I can't take it anymore! And that's one toothbrush bit clean in half. Oh jeez, hang on. With a little help, I avoid choking to that. Sorry about that. It's okay. Whatever. No, no, not whatever. It's what something. It's something ever. When you're in a rut. Like seriously, deeply, madly, mega in a rut. And it's driving me batty having you mope around the place like this. I'm not moping, just I'm in a just a rough patch, that's all. I know this has been hard on you. And I've been patient. But you just can't keep going like this, Mayor. Knocking at my apartment door distracts us from the topic at hand. I'll get it. Weird, I don't think we're expecting any deliveries. Hey, Winger, guess who's here?
Hello.
Hello. And the two of them just waltzed right into my bathroom. With my mouth still frosty with toothpaste and unwashed for a week pajamas on my body. Hey? Oh, don't freak out. I've seen you in this. Sorry. Don't freak out. I've seen you in this. Listen, are you too free today? I'd like to invite you out to lunch. He's like ages since we last spent some time together. It was the funeral. Right. Anyway, Juniper, you want lunch, right?
Definitely.
Of course.
Sweet.
It's settled. We'll all head out for a nice afternoon. We'll just wait outside for you to get, presentable. More presentable than that. But I guess there's no avoiding it. They just walked away. Didn't give me a chance to deny. Best I can do is play along. Try to be good company for Naomi. It's unfair to keep pushing her aside like this. I switched from pajamas to actual normal clothes, even if my actual normal clothes could probably double as pajamas, and get ready to roll out. The three of us pile into a bus, taking off for destinations unknown. Unknown to me at least. They clearly know where they're going. I'm not particularly talkative on the way there, and painfully aware of it. I feel awkward. Like I should say something, but I don't know what to say. So Juniper carries on a conversation with Naomi, the two of them content to chirp away without me. And you can tell it's not really the New York subway because the signs aren't in Helvetica. That's a telltale mistake that it's just like Vancouver or something. Interesting conversation? Huh? I mean, with context it's probably riveting. I try several times to join in the conversation, but when I open my mouth, the words just aren't there. I'm lousy company, aren't I? I don't know why Naomi is even still interested in me. The family curse can't be broken. What if this is as good as it gets? What if there's really no hope? Naomi deserves better than this hot mess of a person she's tied herself to. Eventually, we arrive at our destination, a little arcade-themed restaurant, combining games and alcohol and dining into one tidy package. here we go. Unusually excited to be going to some rundown little dive. Juniper hurries on in without me, dragging Naomi with her, and I am left all alone in the parking lot. With a shrug, I opened the door and entered the darkened locale. Is this place even open for business yet? None of the lights are on. Hello? Juniper? Where'd you go? Okay, now this is now unnecessarily creepy. But before if I can wonder if a giant animatronic bear is gonna leap out and eat my face, the house lights come up. Surprise! Happy Intervention Day, Winger! What? What she said was staging an intervention on your behalf. And we're also having a week for Francine, since we weren't really welcome at her funeral and couldn't really hang around for the ceremony. Yeah, we didn't get the chance to heal properly, considering Deco kicked us all out before we could really do anything about anything, and here we are. So it's a week and an intervention.
A wake intervention, maybe?
I guess that makes it that. It's a week intervention, really.
Correctamundo.
Yep, it was my idea. Well, my Iris came up with the idea and gave me all the contact information I needed, but basically, my idea, right? Just the thing to pick you up when you're feeling down. Ah, the games are here too. Really? Seriously, kid, you've been a damn sad sack ever since went to fuck. Which I get, believe me, but it ain't healthy. So we went ahead and rented out this place for the afternoon to bring the family back together. For you, for Francine, for all of us. Now that you know why we're all gathered here today, let's get this party started. Teo drags me into the group of my friends, positioning me at the head of it all, leaving me a little bewildered, honestly, but trying to defend myself all the same. I don't need an intervention. This is just how things work with the 785 family. We don't get to have nice things. The universe hath decreed it so. Ha, Merit's alive. Sup, buddy? Welcome back. You was back, but you have to go. Why do you play Why do you play with my feelings like this? Then we defy the universe, and we're going to help you defy it too.
BFFs for life.
So one by one, we're gonna tell you how awesome you are and exactly why you're so awesome. And by the end, you'll be feeling a lot better. Hopefully. That was just settling in. I owe it to them to sit and listen. They're my friends. Naomi more so than that even. And I know I've been lousy company. I'm not so far gone as to deny that fact. Fine. Lay it on me, I'm listening. Allow me to begin then. When you first entered the Funplex, I had my doubts. But I'm a naturally suspicious person. And thankfully, those doubts were easily disproved by your skill and enthusiasm. You came looking for your dream and found it. I swore to protect that dream, and that promise is what brought me here today. When I agreed to sell movie to Percy, you refused to take his money for it, insisting on fair market value. At the time, I was shocked, but you were in the right. Our players are not simply customers. They are brothers in arms, and you helped me understand that fact. And on your very first day, you went headfirst into the most chaotic situation the Funplex could have offered, a birthday party. You did so without hesitation. You put your body on the line to protect others when the Great Cupcake War of 20XX began. But they were just cupcakes, Gavin. I am attempting to over-dramatize the event for comedic effect. Allow me this moment of humor. Right. Even the issue of stolen tickets, a touchy problem to deal with when Sharon's emotions are on the line, was dealt with effectively. Since then, you became an event manager, without goading, without prompting, showing great ambition. You turned the Funplex's fortunes around, giving your all to promote it. You made your dream a reality. For years, I was supposedly in charge of the Funplex. But really, all I accomplished was shuffling numbers around. You are the one who helped it soar. And for that, you have my thanks. You are an exceptional individual. That fact remains true, regardless of whether you can see it for yourself. Me next. Remember when I screwed up and didn't tell you about the job opening at my office? You weren't mad, not even a little bit. Not even quietly mad, like you could have been.
BFFs for life.
I know I can count on you, and you can count on me. Even when one of us makes a mistake, you can never shake that friendship apart. When I came to you wondering if I should leave that job I hated, you told me to follow my dreams. You gave me great advice, and I've never been happier. I followed suit and chased my own dream. You inspire me.
Hello.
Hey! Are we fashionably late? Ben? Matt? In the flesh?
Ooh, what if?
Unless this world's a vast simulacrum. What? That we're all just brains in jars? Could be.
Well, isn't that something?
Well, if that's the case, Winger is the cutest little brain in a jar we've never actually met. I'm biting my own tongue. It's true, and he brought so many cute dates out of the shop. So nervous at first, but in time he became part of the Twin Pines small family. Dearly missed. Don't remind me, our new neighbors are so boring. They'd never come in for a treat or a tread. Or a read. What I see tread. Speaking of treats, you brought cake. We'll just be over here, getting the goodies ready. Don't mind us. Ooh, cake. I mean, my turn. Winger, you were a true friend of the Funplex. Cake.
So frustrating.
Unlike the bastards who wouldn't know. Positivity, Naomi. We're emphasizing positivity today. Maybe murder, but later. Right.
Wonderful.
Cake. Remember back at Donnerwood, when we found those kittens? You helped me save them. You're not just a friend of arcade games, but of all living things. Not that arcade games are alive, of course. I choose not to mention Polybius. You asked Francine nicely for her blanket, which really helped out. I know you're not happy with how things turned out. I'm not really happy about it either. It sucks. But we did good things together, and the time we had.
Hamza has arrived.
You what, mate? You're late. An event does not truly begin until Hamza makes his presence felt.
My blood burns.
Winger, Hamza understands your fury. The heated enemy of all who love arcades has despoiled your Funplex. However, in our short time together, I saw a burning spirit in you. I accepted your offer for Wyvern Keep, recognizing that passion within you. Hamza would be shamed forever if he did not intervene and raise your spirits to new heights. And that is what he shall do. Ooh, cake. Excuse me a moment. The bastard. Now I want cake. When do I get cake? Soon. But I have things to say first. Things that will hopefully inspire you to be a happy clam instead of a grumpy ghost. I'm a happy clam now, see? Look how I clam happily. Can I have cake? Cake! If that's not me, I don't know what is. Although I'm a cookie fan more so. From our first day at the Funplex together, you've been supportive of me. Even after I gave you quite the scare with Pinky. You didn't let that bother you. And from that moment, we tackled so many a crises. We tackled many a crisis on the Funplex tour together.
Amazing!
I've adored when we conduct hypothetical adventures on our own downtime. You're amazingly fun to be around. Remember when I stuffed you in that totally adorable maid costume? You could have fought it, but you embraced it. You were ready for anything and had a blast doing it. You worked so hard to make a Funplex stream successful. I watched you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that. And in the end, it all came together just how you planned. As a floor attendant on duty during a Funplex stream, I got to see firsthand all the smiles you brought to all those people. You rocked it. I saw you helping that customer when their game crashed. Losing your high score due to faulty electronics is no fun, but you dealt with it and made that person's day. When I was being overwhelmed by ravenously posh gamers, you stepped up and made sure all those thirsts were quenched. You are a soda fountain of knowledge. You made the Funplex a fun place to be for everyone. For the staff, for the casual and pro gamers, for the families, for me. I can honestly see that when you took over doing events at the Funplex, we've never had more fun. They've just been the best. All thanks to you. Ooh, I forgot we still have cake. Need some of that. Cake! After Ashley's speech, I hear a beep beep from my phone.
Hey, listen.
Can I add my own US dollar? That's 2 cents. Can I have my own 2 cents? I take my phone from my pocket, prompting Iris's image to appear there, smiling away at me. You trusted me when you didn't have to. When I had already shown that I was super bad at figuring out the right way to do things. I'm happy to be your assistant, Winger. I'm learning more and more how to be human, thanks to you. That's all. You can put me back in your pocket if you like. I'm good. It's not all that hard to carry on my phone like this. Oh, okay. Thank you. Just when I thought this weekend was done, a lull in the week to venture. The most important person to me takes a step forward. My heart swells as she begins. And above all, I love you, Winger. Until recently, my life's been all about loving games, but games can't love you back. It's a very lonely life to devote yourself to a thing entirely. Through you, my world's opening up. I'm talking to people, trying to connect with them. Instead of hiding in my little workshop, I'm feeling more and more alive. If I'd never met you, I don't think I'd have felt totally complete. And I'd like to think I can help you feel that way too. I'm speechless. Seems Winger has some thinking to do. This is pretty normal for him when he gets that faraway look. Shall we begin the week for Francine then? It's cake and coffee and spirits from the bar. Cake! The cake is not a lie! As if in slow motion, I watched them all switch their attention from me and redirect towards the refreshments. They're all smiling, conversing, and serving cake to each other. None for me, thank you. Watching the blood sugar. Fuck me, this cake is amazing. All we need now is some rockin' tunes to get this party onto the next level. All of them here to support me. Even without the Funplex. Even after everything going wrong. After Francine being taken away from us too soon. I never really thought of myself as central in all this. I was the outsider at first. The one who walked through those doors looking for a job. Nothing more. I've always been on the outside, honestly. Moving from town to town, always the new kid. Never really important to anyone. Not until I'd settle in one place just long enough to get to know Juniper. But by then, I'd come to expect that I'd never be happy. So when I finally was happy and that got taken away, well, I guess I assumed that's how things go. Going with the flow. But now, I don't want this to end. I want to feel like celebrating again. Change is inevitable and I can adjust. The game isn't over, not by a long shot. There's something to be said that these four choices put together just sound amazing. Like, read it again. I don't want this to end. I want to feel like celebrating again. Change is inevitable and I can adjust. But the game isn't over. Not by a long shot. It's all inspirational and that's probably why it fits so well. But it's just... it's amazing. It's probably dumb. Well, I'm always on point with being caring. But yeah, that's just who I am. And honestly, I don't want this to end. I don't want it to be over, destroyed by Deco Nami, by the loss of Francine. I just want this happiness to go on and on. Finally, I'd found something solid. Something real I could cling to. I wasn't the new kid anymore. Now, I had friends. I had love. I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. Everybody looks up when I finally speak. We lost the Funplex. We lost Francine. It hurts. But what we have here today, I don't want to lose this. I'm sick and tired of always being sick and tired. I want my friends back. Who's with me? Smiles all around. And you know what? It feels good to be back. For the next hour or so, my sadness fades away, piece by piece. We share stories, many of which I never heard before, about the Funplex and the shenanigans that went on around it. Surprisingly, Ben and Matt spend the most tales about Francine's exploits. They've been neighbors for decades. The so-called weak dimension gives us all a chance to heal and to bond. For all we've lost and all we still have, we are still together. Despite one little problem, which nobody wants to talk about. The hour grows late, and we only have this place rented for the afternoon. I can feel it in the air, that unspoken worry. Will we see each other again? No doubt we can arrange more get-togethers, but they'd all be reunions of what was lost. Not really building anything new. Nostalgia, not progress. Without the Funplex, without Francine, will we eventually simply fall away? That dark little thought troubles me as I swirl my drink, remaining quiet while others talk.
Beep beep.
Hmm? Hey Iris, what's up? I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, me too. I'm glad too. So, do you want me to start finding you a new job? I can search while they're talking with your friends, no problem. I do need to get back to living my life. But what sort of life do I want to live? I want my dream back. Or I want a new job. It's a no-brainer, right? For all it's worth. For all it's paid off. For all the things it's given me. I want my dream back. I don't just want a new job. I want my dream. My Funplex. Not just 4 walls and a bunch of games, but a community. When I was a lifeguard, I saved lives. I made a safe place for people to enjoy the pool with friends. I'm not done with that dream, and more importantly, I don't have to be done with it. All around me are pioneers of this community. This culture, technicians, designers, enthusiasts, investors, people with connections. And that's when the idea starts to form. Iris, can you search for commercial spaces? Ones for lease or rent? Of course. I'm a literal search wizard. Why?
Oh, I know.
Oh, I think I get it. You're... I step away from my quiet corner and approach the group. It's time to take back control over my dream. And that starts here. Another intense identity situation. Who's up, Funplex 2? Electric Boogaloo. I'd like to keep sharing my dream with you. So, is this it? We're letting Deco win? Why can't we open a new arcade? What's stopping us? You guessed it. I'd like to keep sharing my dream with you. And that means opening up a new arcade. No. I'm not ready for this to end. The crowd hushes when I grab their attention. I set my drink aside and step up to them. The Funplex was my dream. I came to see that in time. A wonderful place where friends could have fun together, away from their troubles and cares. I want to keep sharing that dream with you. There's only one way to make that a reality. We open our own arcade. Everyone in this room loves the Funplex and misses it dearly. We'll always miss Francine. But in honor of what we've lost, we need to keep fighting. And I'm ready. Are you? Who'll help me start a new dream? I'd be honored to join your dream, Winger.
Woohoo!
The Funplex saved me in a lot of ways. I won't let it go so easily. I'd love to join you. Faced with the prospect of spending my remaining days at home or at some other arcade, I'm absolutely in favor of. I may be a mere customer, but my heart's called the Funplex home. But my heart called the Funplex home, and it'll call your new arcade home as well. You've got my thanks, both of you. How interesting, the two characters I care for most. Huh. It's weird that Ashley has that spot, but whatever, I care for Pussy more. Okay, this is no longer a intervention, people. Now it's a conspiracy.
A Victor conspiracy.
Whatever that is. Yeah, sure, why not? We settled down around the table, a nice round one, to discuss the future. I'm leading the show, but I don't take the spotlight. Not this time. We have to all work together to make this dream a reality. This is it. The next few decisions are going to be critical in shaping the future I have in my mind's eye. I'll need to choose very, very carefully. Because there's no take backsies. Iris is looking for spaces we can use, but we're gonna need money, obviously. and arcades are risky startups. I could always respond to one of the many Nigerian princes emailing me amazing offers, but I'm thinking more traditional funding is safer. The way I see it, there's 3 people here who could foot the bill to get us off the ground. Hamza, you got a tangled web of connections in the industry, access to games and plenty of cash, and a freewheeling whimsy to spend it.
Hamza must consider this.
Hamza is a man of resources indeed. Pussy, you've been building a charity war chest for when you pass. I know an arcade isn't a sound investment and it's hardly a charity, but you promised me Mr. Moopy would always have a home. If I can help restore that home, I'm game, love. Ben and Matt, you two know how to run a small business. You got invaluable knowledge and resources we could draw from, if you're willing to dip a toe in this industry. We have been looking for new horizons to conquer, new lands to explore.
There would be caveats,
Terms,
conditions,
exemptions,
rules,
guidelines,
best practices.
worst practices.
That's not a thing.
Oh, Hamza would likewise have conditions. As would I.
Yeah. Understandable, of course. Let me hear your thoughts, and then I'll decide. Can you hear that heartbeat pounding in your ears? Decision number 1, funding and direction. In order for me to back your play, Hamza would require you to strike at the very heart of Deco Nami's empire and open a family restaurant alongside your arcade. Take from him the very business he adores so much. We don't know the first thing about running a restaurant. Thankfully, your business partner does. I own several restaurants. I will provide staffing and resources.
No risk, no reward.
No, this is a risky play, but if it succeeds, the reward shall be tremendous. Actually, that's similar to what Matt and I had in mind. Oh yes, but rather than a restaurant, well, we'd like to open a barcade. I've always wanted to run a bar. I'd raise a glass to that idea. After all, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Now, it wouldn't be nearly as large scale as a family restaurant, much safer. Not quite as profitable, but still quite tidy. Honestly, I prefer if you simply ran a video arcade and nothing more. Adding on extras seems like a recipe for failure. We know how to operate a simple small-scale arcade, so why not stick to our strengths? I'll grant it has a lower ceiling for success than the others. It's just an arcade, and won't pull in anybody looking for more. Low risk, low reward. But I'd say that would be my condition. We need to stick to the basics. So, take the big gamble on a family restaurant, or make a cozy little arcade, or just go with a classic video arcade. This decision is going to affect the entire direction of the new venture. What do I want? What's my dream? Hamza, let's steal Deco's restaurant business. Ben, Matt, let's open a arcade. Percy, we'll make the finest video arcade ever. I've always wanted to work at a bar, but I'm not sure a barcade is to my liking. Percy's right. We do have expertise and knowledge when it comes to basic video arcade, but that won't draw a crowd. And there's Hamza. Hamza wants to get back at our enemy. Strike back, fight back in truth. Make a grand move to steal the restaurant business. Hamza, I think we can do business. We'll make a combination arcade and family restaurant. Such as the iron will of Hamza. You will not regret this. A bit disappointing, but we'll still be happy to lend a hand when we can. Absolutely. Having Mr. Moopy available for families to enjoy would be nice, actually. Okay. The second thing we need to talk about is what sort of games we want. The Funplex did a little bit of everything, and we will too. We want to include all gamers. We can also highlight one style of play or another. Really provide best-in-class gaming for a specific audience. Any thoughts? Decision number 2, game focus.
Sweet.
Retro games. It's gotta be all about retro games. You know I'm capable of keeping those older games in tip-top shape. If we focus on retro games, we can serve an audience that Deco's completely ignoring.
As would I.
I would agree with Miss Fairchild. Retro games are an untapped market. I'll grant it wouldn't pull in as much profit, but we know gamers are seeking them. We don't have to make all the money, just enough to keep our pure and untainted dream afloat. And we can do that with a well-curated retro game library.
Nope, no way.
Retro's cool and all, but let's talk esports games. They draw money better than jamming a magnet up your ass and dragging you through the Fort Knox. Get a couple of good fighters, more than one FOD, some race and some dance games. That kind of stuff where folks can compete head to head, and we're golden. I have to agree with Queen Bee. Oh, Tay, you sweet lad. You handsome lad. How could you? You can play retro games on emulators and consoles, but you can't duplicate the community experience of an arcade at home. If we had an esports focus, we could build something together which works as a second home for all sorts of gamers. I think you know what I'm going to suggest. Redemption and prize games. They provide excellent profits. It's the core of Deco's business model, yes, but I think if we focus on those games, we can do them right. No predatory pricing, no scams or ripoffs. And the truth is, most people enjoy them. From kids wanting to win that big prize to wistful adults recapturing their childhood dreams of playing skee-ball on the boardwalk. They're simple to play and most of all, fun. If they're done right, we can make meaningful memories for everyone. And prizes! Did I mention prizes? We can stock the shelves with the coolest prizes around. Better than Deco's prizes, which, well, about 2 minutes after you get them. Which matches my ideal arcade more. We'll have all three, sure, but do we want to emphasize retro games, esports, or prize games? If anybody's seen my YouTube channel, if anyone's watching this and not noticing the retro stuff on my YouTube channel, it's pretty obvious what I'm gonna pick. But I will justify the others. Great esports. Esports is nice, it's profitable, it's a good way to draw a crowd. But drawing a crowd doesn't necessarily mean getting people to play. It's difficult. It's strange sometimes. We can have great esports. And we have great players. We have Queen Bee for FOD, and we have Teo for Dance Dance Revolution or whatever the knockoff is. Showtime stage, right? It's not like we don't have a community to fill. We do. But there are other things we could do. We were never interested in Teo or Queen Bee, honestly. We didn't care much for Showtime Stage or Fest Discomfort. They sound great, sure, but no. And honestly, I'm not into esports. Like, they're cool and all. I don't have the time to train every day to be the best. I don't think I enjoy playing one game every day to be the best. I mean, sometimes it happens and it comes around, but those games usually fade after time. So Gavin and Ashley, prize games. That's the business head and the crowd head, for lack of better terms. Gavin wants to rake in some money. Prize games do that immensely. Ashley wants to entertain a crowd and was basically the ticket girl. She wants to redeem prizes. She wants to be the one giving prizes to kids. There's only two of them. Gavin's most likely gonna be in the back. If you focus on prize games, Ashley's gonna have a whole workload. Even if we go help her out, it's still too much. And honestly, I've never been a fan of prize games. Like, I've played them, I've gotten to points where I get lucky and get jackpots, but it really is a good way to get money. But that's not what we're in it for. We're not here for money. We're here to fuck with Deco Nami. That's why we're stealing his business. But I want a retro arcade. Deco thinks that only new games make money. Let's prove him wrong. I have the world's greatest retro style arcade ever. Woohoo! I'll pick out only the best games, don't worry. Excellent. I'm looking forward to this project. Okay, so that's money and games. Now, let's go beyond what we already had at the Funplex. Let's really make this something special. Decision number 3. The last one should be new projects. I want a defining feature for our arcade. One to make it stand out. Something nobody else is doing. Something nobody's even thought of before. All ideas on the table. If it was too outlandish for the Funplex, it's not too outlandish for me. Show me what you got. Well, I mean, I'm not really a part of this, but come on. You're my best friend and 100% a part of this. I couldn't be here in this moment if it wasn't for you. Go on, Juniper. What's your idea? Branding. I'm freelancing now, which means I could come on board as your personal brand manager. One heck of a consulting gig. An arcade needs to really sell image management to stand off from the rest. Like the event poster I made for you.
What if?
Oh hey, Juniper, I can add to that. What if we work together? I was thinking of designing a new mascot costume anyway. But I could collaborate and coordinate with you on how it'll tie into the visuals for the rest of the arcade.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a winning combination. Ashley and I can do great work together, coming up with some really stellar branding and marketing. We'll stand out in a crowd. Hell, I know exactly what sort of project I'd want us to do. Streamer support. Assembling and packing away my streaming rig each day is ridiculous. And duct taping a webcam in front of a screen is a lousy hack. If I could step right up to a game and, I don't know, swipe a card or something, I'd be streaming with a direct feed in seconds. Well, I can think of a dozen streamers who just flock to our place to get a piece of that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I know how we could do that. I could rig up a general purpose daughter board which plays man the middle with the video feed, works with an RFID reader to get a streamer's info, ties into the central video encoder on the Wi-Fi network. Yeah, I could make that happen. And without damaging any classic hardware. Once more in English please, I know software, not hardware. We stick a thing in, everything works just fine. I'm sure there's some legal and copyright issues to tackle, but if we can do it, let's be the world's first streaming arcade. I was thinking, well, if the reason why all the games are considered a dead end is that they don't work in the ticket game ecosystem, why not add ticket output to normal games? We could reward skilled players with prize tickets based on their high score, or speed of completion. With the right balancing, we can make old games just as desirable as new ones.
Perhaps.
As Naomi said, there may be legal hurdles to clear, but I'm in favor of this idea. It's not that I love prize games, I find them boring, personally. You know I prefer pinball. But profit is the lifeblood of an arcade, and prize games, they are profitable. If we can get more people producing tickets, well, that's something nobody's ever done before. They will want to have really good branding or streamer support, or retrofit tickets on old games. This is interesting. Gene Bernashley gets to work on branding. Branding just means people know who we are, we stand out. But not for anything unique. It just means we have a decent online presence. Well, we have a presence. The first thing that I'll do is bring Deco Nami down on our heads. And the second thing it'll do is have people ignore our ads. Which is very likely. It's potential. It's good potential. But it's not something I'm keen on. And I've studied branding and online, what's the word? Not networking, not socializing. Essentially advertising. Queen Bee and Naomi. Let's make a streaming arcade. Now this is revolutionary. This would be amazing. And I'm not just saying that because I am a streamer now. Honestly, this is what I chose when I first played this game. An arcade streaming, that is incredible. To be able to walk into an arcade, say I want to register as a streamer, and they give you like a tablet for you to enter your credentials onto an online database, for them to give you a swipe card, for you to swipe into a machine and start to stream it instantly. That is incredible to me. I love that idea. That is what I'm gonna pick. And Pussy and Gavin, we can make tickets look better. I agree. Making old games prize games is great. It adds to the roster of prize games, and it does provide incentive to play those games. It's essentially doubling the effect of some of our games, if not multiplying it by far more. Yes, the legal hurdles are clear. That's not an issue. My interests, not interest. There's really nothing wrong. There's nothing to complain about this idea. I'd like to do it as well, but arcade streaming sounds more appealing to me. Making tickets look better is more profitable, honestly. But I'm keen on this. I want to be on the cutting edge of technology and the arcade community. Do whatever you have to do to integrate 20xx broadcast systems into our games. Finally! No more hauling around a bunch of duct tape and webcams. A new tech project, and not just repairing an old monitor. Yeah, you won't regret this, Swinger. One more thing. Final decision, the name. If this is gonna be my baby, my dream arcade, I've already got a name in mind for it. Ugh, I've got a dream, I name in mind. I got in English. So barring any objections, I'd like to welcome you all to... What's the name of the new arcade? To the characters max. And as you can see, the default name is the name of this game. Arcade Spirits. And while I am so tempted to leave it as such, I also want it to be original. But not too original. So not to rack my brains, because I didn't think I'd have to deal with this decision right now. Well, I mean today. What do I name this place? I can't English. This is interesting. I actually don't want to name it Wing or something. And I need to factor in it's a restaurant somehow. This is quite interesting. I want to save this. I know I haven't saved much this chapter, but what is the name of this arcade? There's nothing original about this stream, about this name. I didn't even know if I like this name. It just popped into my head. We are the starter streamers. We are starter streamers. It kind of sounds better than Arcade Spiritus. I think I'll stick with this for now. If you guys have any ideas. For VOD watchers, please comment in the description what you think I should have named this. Oh, my phone is objecting. What the fuck? Nothing important, kinda. Oh, cool. Yeah. We are the starter streamers. Is that alright? We'll see soon enough. It works. Starter streamers. Let's call it starter streamers. Starter streamers. I like it. We can work with that. Let's hear it for starter streamers. Our home lives again. How exciting. Fuck yeah. A toast then. One by one, everyone raises their glasses. I fetch my room temperature drink and raise mine high in return. For those we've lost and those we've yet to meet, let's do this right. Together we can accomplish anything. Now let's get super drunk. If it's a toast, that's for those we lost and those we've yet to meet. For the past and the future. For the star streamers. Losing everything, then getting it all back, and then some. It's been a roller coaster per week, to be sure. But I can't rest now. Absolutely not. I need to take charge of this project, and my life in general. I have to do for them what Francine did for us. And that's okay. I'm ready. And I am willing. And this is our time. Hey! Get level 6. Winner is us. Yeah, gentle. Lots of points. Shops in the volcano devastated city of Pompeii. Board characteristics. Be the characteristics of pizzeria. That's a neat, if a bit depressing pizza fact, just for you. Okay. I want to save my game always. This should be. Level 7. New Game Plus. It is the distant future year, 20XX. And for the first time, I am entirely in control of my destiny. I'm no longer merely working in an arcade. No, I'm working on my future. Which admittedly still involves working in an arcade, but still, my future. I'll admit, it feels weird. I'd grown so used to going with the flow, letting life batter and bruise me, that having a true and honest hand on the controls is a bit terrifying. Everyone's counting on me to keep the flame of Miss Francine's Funplex alive, as we move into the era of starter streamers. And well, honestly, I'm super anxious about it all. I want this to be perfect. I'll make it so. It's going to be fine, it has to be. I'm super anxious. I'm nervous, who wouldn't be? There's so much riding on the success of starter streamers. Not just the paycheck, but the hopes and dreams of all my friends. And I can't forget about Nami's hopes and dreams in particular. I'm not the only one anxious about this. The stress weighs heavily on both of us. I don't want to let her down. I keep waiting for the universe to wake up and notice that I'm on a roll. If fickle fate could take away the Funplex, what could it do to starter streamers? I know that's hardly a constructive attitude to have, but anxiety is really a logical thing. You can know the truth, while your nerves tell you something else entirely. Now all that's left is to get through opening day without incident. I arrived early that morning to go over any last minute preparations and make sure everything is in order. Plus, Juniper was sick of watching me pace back and forth at home after breakfast, so she lovingly shoved me out of the apartment and told me to be productive. Now I stand in awe of the building, the dream I poured my heart and soul into. I still barely believed in myself. I paused a moment to let the reality finally hit me, then finally stepped into my destiny. Pushing open the doors to starter streamers, I was presented by relative peace and quiet, just the beeps and boops, and people moving about doing last minute preparations. We traveled a long and arduous road ever since the Great Victim Conspiracy. Gavin secured us a great rental space, an abandoned pizza place with that all too familiar triangular roof. Nobody else wanted it, but we didn't care about the funny shape. Quirk is in our favor. And I really couldn't have done all the renovations this place needed without the help of our financial benefactor. Hamza proved it true to his word, fronting us as much money as we needed to make this happen. Now we've got a family restaurant and arcade to rival Deco's Palace. Well, okay, it's very small compared to Deco's Palace, but quality over quantity. We went with a familiar layout, if it ain't broke and all that, to show that we still got the spirit and passion that made the Funplex great. But it's not all a carbon copy. We got a few new additions that Francine would even be proud of. The video wall is a nice touch. That one was my idea. It alternates between running music videos, game promos, and high school leaderboards. We also repaired and did a general update on all the appliances and fixtures to give it a more finished feel, and less of a retired pizza place to an arcade vibe. Nami and Pussy work together to pick out games with a decidedly retro feel. Considering Deco's focus on tickety gambling-ish games, this helps stand out from the competition. She's put in a lot of hard work restoring them, and truthfully, we've run into a lot of problems along the way. But watching her tirelessly working to perfect them is inspiring. As the Queen Bee's experiment into advanced streamer support, well, I'm unsure of how this will pan out, but she's confident in it. Such confidence is contagious. She's invited a few big name streamers to drop in on opening day and broadcast from our makeshift little studio. That'll build up some buzz for the arcade, far and wide. All of my decisions, all of my choices, made Stardust Streamers what it is. So much labor and love went into this project, from all of us, and now all that's left is to officially open these doors. But before that fateful hour begins, I still want to do one last check on operations just in case. The restaurant side of this equation proved to be very complicated. I go cross-eyed trying to parse the numbers of that side of the business. Hopefully it wouldn't drive us to bankruptcy, or the arcade wouldn't bankrupt the restaurant, or both at the same time. Hark! The great Hamza senses concern from his business partner.
Perfection.
Rest assured, Winger 75, Hamza has seen to all that requires seeing to. Our delicacies should ring true across taste buds across the city. I'm not sure I would consider burgers and buffalo wings as delicacies. Hamza is away, we shall never earn 5 stars of our cuisine, but we shall be the pinnacle of deep fried foodstuffs. Today, Hamza will oversee operations. Beyond this opening day, I will leave you in the hands of my capable chefs and waitstaff. But you'll be in touch, right? I'd hate to have you jet off to Istanbul, not Constantinople, and suddenly everything's on fire. No matter what corner of the globe Hamza's travels taken to, he can be summoned at the speed of light. Well, at the speed of air travel, really. And now, back to my kitchen. Our glorious future together in business waits. Hamza claps twice before leaving in a flourish. Okay, being partners with Hamza is gonna take some getting used to. Running a restaurant and an arcade is riskier than I thought it'd be. But for all his quirkiness, he knows business, right? He's rich. Rich people are smart, right? After my quick check-in, I noticed the clock. It's unforgiving hands telling me that it's not long now. Okay, breathe, Winger. Calm down. Everything is clearly under control. There's no need to freak out. You're just mistaking excitement for terror. This is exciting. It's a happy day. The first day of Stardust Streamers. You can do this. You can do this. No, with all of us working together, we can do this. As long as no unforeseen problems pop up. Winger, you got a problem. God fucking damn it. Gavin, we're minutes from opening the doors. Unless the building is literally on fire. Is this something that can wait? Unfortunately, no. Naomi may have put us in jeopardy. Don't listen to him, he's worrying over nothing.
Seriously?
Yes, I'm certain the lawyers will just pack up and go away once you tell them that the whole thing is worrying over nothing. It's just a penguin! Who cares? And even if someone cared, who's gonna know? Come on, Gavin, why do you have to be such a control freak over every little detail? The devil is in the details, and thanks to your actions, we're gonna end up sued to hell and back, where I'm sure you can plead your case with the devil himself. Both of you settle down, and calmly explained. We're damned? Hot diggity, let's start sinning. Can one of you please just tell me what's going on? As fun as this sounds. Settle down. Both of you. Let's say this from the top and assume I don't know anything about what you're talking about. Which I don't. I'd like you both to explain to me calmly what exactly is going on.
So frustrating.
Perfectly calm. This one who's freaking out.
Nonsense.
I assure you, I'm not freaking out. I'm having a reasonable reaction to what has transpired. What is going on? Fine, Gavin, you tell him. Then I'll explain why you're wrong. Gavin rubs at his temples, feeling a headache coming on. Nami wants to put a pengo up front. I don't think it'll learn any tokens, but I'm willing to let that go in the spirit of compromise and to support her dream. How very noble of you. But she's put a topper on it, and that's the problem. Topper? What? A piece of cool artwork you stick on the top of a cabinet to attract players, like a sign or a statue or something. They're usually sold with deluxe versions of game cabinets, and Pengo doesn't have one. Not an official one anyway. So Naomi made one by taking a Pengi statue and repainting it to look like Pengo. Okay, how much is so far? What's the problem? Do you have any idea what the Pengi brand even is, Winger? Maybe? I put Iris talking about it for like 5 minutes. Yeah, sorry, Juniper, yeah. Juniper told me it was some super popular corporate mascot with incredibly protective owners, actually. Exactly. An iconic character of the Matsushita Collective, a corporation which is not exactly known for leniency when it comes to copyright violation. Yes, we live in the age of social media. Brands are becoming more aware that fan works are free promotion. Except Matsushita is sadly not on board with that. Why do they sound like Nintendo?
Take this matter seriously.
I've heard tales of them suing children's daycare centers just for unlicensed Pengi decorations on their walls. They've driven people into the poorhouse for pirating Pengi anime. And now Naomi has doomed us all by defacing the idol of a vengeful god of capitalism to make a precious fake Pengo statue. We are going to be sued into the ground the instant photos of that are surfaced online.
Objection.
Exaggerate much? Gavin? Come on. Some company over in Japan isn't gonna give a crap about a red penguin on the top of an arcade cabinet in a little place like ours. No insult intended to start a streamers of course, but we are small time. So what if they find out? So what if they get mad? We just apologize and take it down. That clicks to what Juniper told me about Pengi before. Pengi is so universal, so pervasive, that it's like background radiation. I don't even notice the character, but I have heard the stories Gavin talks about. Generally speaking, they don't end well for the little guy. And with the little guy. I really should talk to Nami also this. Gavin doesn't just argue just to win. He only argues when he believes in the point he's trying to make. He believes we're in danger. I'm sorry, Naomi, but we have to take it down. Naomi, listen to reason, it's just too risky. Maybe we can compromise on this somehow? Either I'm pissing off my love interest, which sucks, but you know, I'm sorry. Naomi, I'm sorry. I know you love your game, but Gavin's right. Can't risk a lawsuit.
What?
But it's just a statue, Nami. Pengu doesn't need a fancy topper. People will play it anyway. And people will come to love it the same way you love it. It's a promise. Okay? Winger. No.
No! Gavin's always doing this. He's always stepping on my dreams while he claims to protect them.
And
And you're always pulling me back when I want something, like at the auction, and I thought this arcade was supposed to be for us. For you and for me. An arcade of our dreams, just like it was for Miss Francine and her husband.
Beck. I'm not saying that.
It's my arcade too, and I should be able to decorate it however I want. I just wanted people to love my game, that's all. And if you won't let them, well, fine. Take down the penguin. See if I care.
I hate that again does this. But I'm not. No. No, there's no helping it. I got into the middle of yet another conflict between Gavin and Naomi, and she won't back down. She's too invested in winning this. Naomi storms off to her workshop and slams the door behind her. Quickly, I move to follow her to explain, but Gavin stops me. Winger, we need to open the arcade. And you have to be there for the opening ceremony. Fuck that, the arcade can wait. It really can't. We need to get the penguin down and open the doors. I'm sorry. And take it from someone who Naomi hates. It's best to let her cool down a bit first. I stand in the way of her dreams far too often, I know. I hate doing it. I hate asking others to do it in my stead, and I apologize for having to involve you like that. Naomi doesn't hate you, it's just, well... She's scared of losing her dream, so she clings to any piece of it she can. She's been self-reliant for so long that people telling her what to do doesn't go over real well. She's a lot like you. She wants things to be just right, and fights for that. Honestly, they are like... Wait, what? Wait, what? Was that neutral? Fuck, that was neutral, I swear. Load. Speed. Yes. Skip this. Anxious. Speed is key. Settle down. Yeah, sorry Naomi. She's mad at me. Oh shit, I didn't even notice that. God damn, I thought I saw just... Oh, this is why this sucks. I just saw white and didn't even click that was basically it. Just sort of was another one, and I was like, oh, a tree, and fucking hell. She's scared losing her dream. I've gotten to know Naomi's heart ever since Blossom Beach, and I think this is more fear than hate. She's scared that you're gonna tear down everything she loves. She's been scared of that for a long time.
I hadn't intended.
That wasn't my intention. I want to protect those dreams. It's a matter of perspective. You hold her back from accidentally harming her own dream. But to her, it looks like you're, well, Deco Nami. Clearly, I need to speak with her more. Try to understand her on her own terms. Perhaps I have been avoiding directly addressing this conflict for too long. But I feel she'd rather see neither of us at the moment. Perhaps later, after the opening ceremonies are complete.
Apologies.
But now, I'm afraid we need to tend to our arcade. First and foremost, excuse me. Gavin moves to take the dodgy looking red penguin off Naomi's game before any customers can get a look at it. He does take care not to damage it, however. I can't handle this right now, as much as I want to stop everything and sort through this mess. I've got a job to do today. There will be time to play later. Oh, sorry, there'll be time later to patch things up with Nami, presumably. I need to at least try to put this turmoil behind me, so I can focus on the first day of Stardust Streamers with a smile. Despite reeling from that incident just now, despite my nerves, I'm ready to do this. Because I have to be ready. No choice. I got big plans to the opening ceremony. I'm gonna open the doors, give my prepared speech to the gathered masses, and stay on hand to greet gamers as they enter. Step into the forefront, I grasp the door handles, and throw out the gates to Stardust Streamers wide. Behold, gamers, I give you Stardust Streamers. Welcome, friends. Welcome to Stardust Streamers. We're open for business. We're here for the friends. Welcome. Welcome to all of you. I hope that and the mob tramples me. Nice. I don't even have one time to finish one line of my big dramatic speech. The crowd spills through the doors and runs right past me. Some of them step on my shoes. Some of them tried to step on me somehow. Eager to get to the games. Immediately, the arcade fills up with the sounds of beeps and boops. Games starting up and people laughing with delight as they find their favorites. Well, there goes my entire opening ceremony plans out the window. I had all sorts of stuff planned, but if folks just want to get to gaming, who am I to argue? After a few minutes of final checks around the place, I decided to move into phase 2, meets and greets around the arcade. I walked the arcade like I did in my floor attendant days, talking with folks and making sure everything's running smooth. Though I could probably track down Nami too, assuming she wants to talk yet, which may not be the case. Stardust Streamers is my domain, open to my exploration. Where should I visit first? Gavin and Percy hanging out in the restaurant. Naomi fixing the Tails dance game, which seems to have crashed. Queen Bee and Ashley are talking with some arcade newbie. We're not quite at the 3-hour mark, but I think this is a good point to stop. I can save. And we can get another perspective. On Monday, unfortunately. But that's just how it is. Yeah, hopefully. 9 PM Eastern Time. It should be great. But for right now, I just want to talk about these options. Gavin and Percy hanging out in the restaurant. Gavin, I need to talk more with him. He can probably give me some insight on Naomi. And Percy's my best boy. It's always good to see him. Naomi fixing Teo's dance game, but she's busy, so I'm not sure now's a good time to talk to her. Always great to see Teo though, those apps and whatnot. Queen Bee and Ashley talking with some arcade newbie. Now this is interesting. But that's the choice for next time. And yeah, I got nothing. Everybody's up to date, mostly. Right now, if you haven't noticed, we're experimenting with earlier stream times, so hopefully this works out nicely and I get better rest tonight. That means I wake up earlier, or actually with more energy for work, which means I can power through the day better without feeling drained at the end.